Okay, I'm Simon Swart. I'm one of the producers on Boy Kills World. Very excited about the project. It's a pretty audacious comic book mashup from the imagination of a fairly crazy person coming to life who's sitting next to me. He's a committed filmophile, loves the anime genre, heavily influenced by classic martial arts movies, and I'd say Moritz brings a unique sense of humor in mashing together his favorite genres in this picture, and we can't wait to share it with an audience.
So I run Ramy Productions. I've been working with Sam now for about 6 years, and that is how I became introduced to Maritz, and we've been developing it for a very long time, and we're really excited to show it to the world tonight.
I remember when we first read the script, Raimi and Vertigo were already connected. It came to us through Capstone and Hammerstone, presented it to us. There was a little previs piece that Moritz and his team had shot a few years before. We read the script, we were blown away. We were like, there's nothing like this out there. This is going to be a wild and audacious ride. We'd found out that there were a couple of other studios attached before that had fell away, and we looked at it and said, this is something we can do. And really, it was one of those movies where we knew that from the director on down through all the department heads and the cast, we needed people that are willing to wave their crazy flag and let it fly. And that was for us. It was a great fit for us to come in, and we've been incredibly excited about this from the moment we read the script.
The idea for the story was sort of born out of the fact that a group of people in Berlin, where I live, we all filmmakers, David Chatarsky, the action designer, Arnd Remmers, one of the writers, and Reza Brogerdi, a producer. We're all sort of looking for something fun and to do that we love to do stuff like that, like a crazy action movie. And we started shooting this proof of concept and sort of developed a story there, something that we would like to watch. And Germany is mostly famous for is art house movies, I guess. There are not a lot of genre movies coming from Germany. And we were like, no, but that's the kind of movie we want to make. So we thought we have to make it happen ourselves, basically. So we shot this proof of concept trailer. And a year later, we wrapped it up. I basically took a plane to LA, showed it to a few people, and that's where we ended up with Roy Lee and Sam Raimi. Oh, basically everything I love and my collaborators love to watch, like the old kung fu movies. Obviously, in the movie, there's like the Jackie Chan's Drunken Master, the master teaching the guy and sort of torturing him a bit in the process. Park Chan-wook's Revenge trilogy, definitely on that. I love those movies. Lots of Asian genre cinema, samurai movies, bit of Takashi Miike, just some of the crazy stuff in there. And and some anime influence we always sort of try, especially in the fight scenes. We're like, oh, we want to have this, some shots need to feel like an anime, like shots taken straight from an anime. And we always try to put that in the movies. I mean, basically the biggest highlight for, I think, for me was seeing all these characters that we had written come to life. Like, because the development was rather long, 5 years, I think, 4 years until before we wrote the script, and then it took us a while. And so you live with these characters a while, and then an actor comes in and puts their stamp on it, and suddenly you're on set and you're like, oh, holy, that's great. It's not exactly what I imagined, but at least part of it is, but they added something. Like Andrew Koji's Basho was somebody like that, where he brought so much of himself, or not of himself, but he brought so much more to the character than I originally thought, and I just loved it. It was great.
I remember the first table read with Andrew.
Yeah.
We had no idea what happened. Andrew was like, all of our cast were all in. They loved the characters. They have their favorite moments of each of their characters. Yeah. We did our first table read, and Koji brought this half English Cockney accent to bear, and we're like, what the hell is this? And it was so good. He just didn't break. He just kept going. We're like, yeah, that's it. We'll go.
I actually realized only later that he basically, from the first call I had with him, he was sort of in character. And Andrew shot his Warrior TV show in Cape Town, and so a lot of the team on set knew him, and they were all like, "This is a different guy. Like, who is this?" Well, it was cool.
It was originally written as a much smaller character, and he just brought so much more comedy, and he even added backstory and a beautiful theme of hope. I love that he added this elegant little nugget of hope into the film.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I loved the production design. Since it's a dystopian world, we had to get really creative and make it feel modern and fresh. But Moritz also loves the retro vibe as these older films that he's mentioned. So we worked with Mike Berg, and who's based in South Africa, and he just blew us away with what he designed. It was incredible, and I think in the market scene, especially when we all walked into set that day, that's when it really hit me that we've made something special.
And you're talking about favorite moments. I'll say one of my favorite moments was probably this morning doing the sound check in the theater and going, "This is really happening. We cannot wait to share this with the world." Because I will say, to Moritz's credit, and he downplays it a bit in his own humble way, but this is a pretty audacious. When you do read the script, it's like, how the hell are you actually going to make this? There's so many devices in there. There's, whether it's the action, the sound design, the voiceover. You have a deaf and mute, hero, and you're balancing all these different things. For the movie that it was pretty audacious and radical, and you're literally managing all these devices, and I think he did it. Everyone will see what we wrought through that, I guess. But there are so many favorite moments because there were so many problems that were solved in a way we can all see it now in hindsight, and we know the pain and suffering we went through to get that. And it's kind of cool when you see it up there, and it's going to be amazing with an audience tonight.
We have a huge cast, so it was quite the adventure, and we had Nancy Nair, who we all love and adore, and she did an incredible job.
Yeah. I mean, this is my first movie, so I don't know how it works usually, but it's like slow and steady, one actor, another actor, a third actor, and then hoping schedules don't shift or they're dropping out, like we had that happen, like, I'm sorry, I can't make it, then we had to recast, and then but it's that's the process, and it was good, and I love our cast, and the thing about the cast is that they're all on the same page, like everybody sort of knew what we were doing, as crazy as it was. They were all like, "Oh yeah, no, I get it." I was like, "Oh, cool, awesome."
I think Moritz is very good in managing the expectations of casting just a name for the sake of a name. He fought really hard to make sure that the actors we got were the right character for the role. And, in filmmaking, there's a lot of pressure to bring quote-unquote big bankable stars and put this person in that role, etc. We wanted both. We wanted the bankable stars, but we wanted stars that inhabited the characters. And I think that's something that it was a long journey. I want to say it took us about 6 months to get this finally cast. I think we cast the last role like 3 weeks before Principal, if I remember correctly. But
you might be right. I can't remember. But yeah, it's crazy.